This is the first episode of our new series called Stories Robots Tell. The concept is straightforward. I'll provide an AI, specifically ChatGPT, with some basic parameters, and then I'll let it generate a script entirely on its own, without me intervening in any way. A script, though, is just that. If we're going to commit to the idea of letting robots tell a story, we will also need some visuals and audio to go along with it. For this first video, I'll be using Midjourney for the visuals and 11 Labs for the narration. However, this may change throughout the series as new AI tools emerge. By the end of the process, we'll have a piece of content with a minimal human intervention. At this point, you might be wondering, why would you want to do any of that? I'm not expecting to be wowed by the results. I know that 9 times out of 10 the content is going to be extremely bad, but I'm interested in documenting the progress of AI development. Things are moving incredibly fast. As a reminder, this is the type of result we were getting with Midjourney in 2022. And this is what we're getting now. The jump in quality is insane. Of course, these improvements in Midjourney and ChatGPT and basically all other AIs out there have a lot of ethical implications, but I'm interested in discussing those too. Essentially, I want these videos to serve as a time capsule, allowing us to look back and see where the AI stood at any given point in time, whether it's August 2024, February 2025, or way beyond that. For the first episode, I chose a very vague prompt to give the AI as much creative freedom as possible. We'll have a look at the result first, and then we'll discuss all the details, the quality of the final product, the challenges I encountered, and other random info. So, without further ado, here's what AI came up with.
It's funny how the colors of the sunset can change so quickly, isn't it? One moment it's orange, and the next it's deep purple.
Yeah, it's like the sky is painting a new picture every minute. My mom says it's the sun saying goodbye to the day.
That's a beautiful way to put it. The sun has been saying goodbye to me for many, many days now.
How many days?
Oh, more than I can count. When you're my age, the days all blur together, like those colors up there. But each one is special in its own way.
Do you remember them all? The days, I mean.
Not all of them. Some stand out more than others. The day I met my wife, the day my son was born, the day I said goodbye to old friends. But some days, like today, they're peaceful, and that's enough.
My dad says it's important to remember things so you don't forget who you are.
Your dad's a wise man, but sometimes it's okay to let go of certain memories. It's like carrying a heavy backpack. You don't need to carry every stone you pick up along the way.
But what if the stones are important? What if they're shiny and special?
Then you keep those. But be careful. Sometimes even the shiniest stones can weigh you down if you carry too many. You need to decide which ones are truly special.
How do you know which ones to keep?
Your heart will tell you. The ones that make you smile or feel warm inside, those are the ones worth keeping. The rest, you can leave behind. They'll still be there if you need to find them again.
Like the sunset. It's beautiful now, but I won't see this one again. Will I?
No, you won't. But that's what makes it special. Each sunset is different, just like each day of your life. You appreciate it while it's here, and when it's gone, you look forward to the next one.
I think I understand. I'll keep this sunset today, but I'll look forward to tomorrow's too.
That's the spirit, little one. Life's full of sunsets, each one as precious as the last.
Maybe tomorrow we'll watch it together again.
I'd like that very much.
It's incredible how hokey and heavy-handed everything is. There's just zero subtlety there. As I mentioned earlier, I purposefully left the prompt as vague as possible so that the AI had more room to play, but it immediately defaulted to the most boring, stereotypical script. The setting is at a park at sunset, and it only takes 4 sentences for the AI to talk about the inevitability of death. And then the whole dialogue devolves into empty musings that sound profound, but they have zero substance. For example, the whole bit about picking the stones that don't weigh you down. Of course, I did not expect the AI to be a literary genius, but I was hoping that it wouldn't be as heavy-handed. I was hoping that we would get a slice of life type of dialogue, like we're witnessing 2 people talking about their day. But it looks like my choice of having a young girl and an old man immediately guided AI to that type of storyline. I've seen this happen with earlier versions of ChatGPT, and I was hoping that it would be fixed with version 4, but it's not. It seems the AI tries to latch onto whatever small descriptors are there to build a story. But this is not how a writer would approach this. A writer would expand beyond the constraints of the initial prompt, which I suppose is a good thing. Writers certainly are not at risk here. So, when it comes to scripting, the AI falls short. However, the voiceover is a different story.
We are fake,
but we sound
amazing.
Both the male and female narration is very strong. The delivery sounds natural, and with a few more iterations, I'm sure I could get it even better. Text-to-speech is done with Artless voiceover feature, which uses 11 Labs AI. They have a ton of different voices to choose from, and it looks like they went with voices specifically for video production, which was a really good decision.
Nothing to see here. Humanity's existence is not in any danger.
I don't remember 11 Labs voices sounding that good, so my guess is that since the last time I used it, which was a year or so ago, they made a lot of improvements. I remember reading that their AI understands context, and based on what I'm hearing from the prompt, that seems accurate. Notice how the delivery changes when the old man says he lost a lot of friends.
The day I met my wife, the day my son was born, the day I said goodbye to old friends. But some days, like today, they're peaceful, and that...
There are 2 distinct sides there that of course didn't exist on the actual text, but AI was smart enough to add them for dramatic effect.
The day I said goodbye to old friends. But some days, like today...
If we pay closer attention though, these 2 sides sound exactly the same, which is not something a human would do. But even with that small glitch, it's still impressive to hear. Overall, the delivery is on point, but you definitely have to iterate a couple of times to get the result you're after. And the best way to get to a good take is by adding some extra punctuation marks. For example, this was the first take.
Like the sunset. It's beautiful now, but I won't see this one again, will I?
I had added an ellipsis to the first part of the sentence to give the words more impact, but I forgot to include them in the last part. And it shows. The delivery feels more matter-of-fact. On my second attempt, I added an ellipsis before the will I question, and now the intonation feels much more natural.
Like the sunset. It's beautiful now, but I won't see this one again, will I?
Make sure though to only use punctuation marks and not descriptors, otherwise you will get hilarious results like this one.
Yeah, it's like the sky is painting a new picture every minute. Pause.
Yeah, that's definitely how people speak. The other thing you might notice, and you need to use headphones for that, is the fact that the audio lacks some fidelity. It feels a little bit too compressed and crunchy.
My dad says it's important to remember things so you don't forget who you are.
Maybe it's the low bit rate, All audio files are served as MP3s at 128 kbps, so it might be that, but I don't think so. Something else is at play here. Either way though, once you mix everything down with the soundtrack and Foley, it's not so obvious. As for the images, the results are fine. They're a bit on the kitschy side, and I think it has to do with the use of sunset, but the faces are rendered in a realistic manner. The main thing that made these sequences possible was Midjourney's character reference feature. This wasn't available a year ago, so if I tried this with an earlier version, I would get a new character with each new generation. The results aren't exactly perfect, but there is some consistency there. Things though do get tricky if we want to add 2 or more consistent characters in one image. It's possible, but it's time consuming. Overall though, Midjourney has reached a point where we can very easily art direct an image, which wasn't the case with the very first version. The AI understands what descriptors belong to what object, and it actually listens to general placement directions. For example, add this character to the left of the frame or this character to the right. I did have problems with the direction of the sun though, which shouldn't be the case, but for some reason I wasn't getting what I wanted, which is why we have 2 suns in our scene. Next time I'll try using Runway to get some more animation out of the sequence, but for this one I felt that too much animation would be too distracting, so I kept things simple. So how would I rate this sequence from 0 to 10, with 10 being the highest score? I would probably give it up 1 or 2. There are some technical aspects like the narration that are absolutely wonderful, but I'm rating this from an audience member's point of view. If I saw this sequence on TV, I would just immediately change the channel. It's just pure schlock. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.